10 years ago, NATO commenced a large-scale air campaign against Yugoslavia, which lasted just about 3 months. Hundreds of civilians were killed, often in broad daylight. The question is, does one group, such as NATO, have the right to impose its will over a country when UN authorization is in question, or ever, for that matter?
More opinion on this topic. We're joined in the studio by Vladimir Kozin, former Russian regional director of the OSCE mission in Pristina. Good to have you in the studio today. Always good to see you. You were there just a year or two after this happened, but really, to all intents and purposes, because it was such a long rebuild, shortly after it happened. Yes, can you describe to us the aftermath, the after effects as you saw them there? How great was the loss of life and the destruction all around?
Yes, it looked like a concentrated area, almost razed to the ground, especially Serbs' houses. Serbs' shops, schools, churches, etc. For example, if just I can step aside slightly from Kosovo that looked to former Yugoslavia itself, totally there were 59 churches destroyed and 39 schools and various other facilities purely civilian nature. So the situation was very upsetting and horrible, especially and even in Pristina, in Kosovo, because the first bombs were dropped not upon Belgrade or Novi Sad and some other cities inside Serbia, but against Kosovo cities as well.
What was your view at the time? Did you think that NATO was right in its actions, and have you changed your view over the years?
I haven't changed my view because NATO was not right to do this kind of thing, because it violated several international agreements, even the United Nations Charter, and several UN Security Council resolutions, which were passed before the famous 1244, passed in June 1999. And the Helsinki Final Act concerning inviolability of internationally recognized borders. And the action was done, I mean, this bombardment had been done beyond any sanction of the UN Security Council. It was the decision made by Javier Solana.
And remind our viewers, what was the scale of this NATO operation, and how was the news of it taken in Russia at the time?
The scale was dramatically very high. It was actually an all-out war, because 18, not all NATO member countries, but by that time only 18 NATO member countries used military might against former Yugoslavia. Depleted uranium bombs, 31,000. It was reported by your correspondent.
Is having an after effect now.
Yes, after effect, it causes blood cancer and contamination of the environment. And it's caused by uranium-238, called depleted uranium. Then cruise missiles from various ships and submarines. Even strategic bombers were used. But lucky people were that they were conventionally fit.
The arguments on both sides go on to this day, Vladimir. Even recently, we see in the UN yesterday, we see Kosovo and Serbia trading accusations at each other that war crimes were committed. They're both accusing each other. What's your take on that?
Just I can recall today's interview of the Serbian President Boris Tadic, who admitted that there were some mistakes done from both sides during that time. But it doesn't mean that NATO should resort to military might to punish only one side of this national calamities, ethnic cleansings, etc., etc. And as we are very much on the Serbian side, and we will never, I mean, we, the Russian Federation, will never recognize self-proclaimed independence of Kosovo.
Well, Vladimir Kozin, former Russian regional director of the OSCE mission in Pristina, good to have you in the studio and hear your thoughts of recalling what happened, 10 years ago now.
Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir.
Whether or not you believe that an organization ever has the right to impose its will on others, the bottom line is that the death of innocent civilians is always a tragedy, and whenever that occurs, it should not be forgotten.